Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we dive into an intriguing case from Singapore's legal archives, Ong Tiong Poh and Public Prosecutor, a story that highlights how deceit, no matter how well crafted, eventually unravels. This case also reflects a timeless truth about the nature of reality, where appearances can be deceiving, serving as a gentle reminder of the deeper layers that exist beneath the surface. Ong Tiong Poh, only 21 years old, became involved in a sophisticated credit card fraud syndicate operating in Singapore. He faced 68 charges of cheating, attempted cheating, and abetment by conspiracy to cheat. Of these, the prosecution proceeded with 10 charges, 2 for direct cheating under Section 420 of the Penal Code, and 8 for abetment by conspiracy to cheat under Sections 420 read with 109. The scam operated through a calculated system. Ong wasn't just a minor player, he was the central figure. He received counterfeit credit cards and distributed them to accomplices, commonly referred to as runners. Ong provided specific instructions on which shops to target and what goods to purchase. These runners used the fake credit cards to buy luxury goods and electronics from unsuspecting retailers. Once the goods were acquired, they were handed back to Ong, who sold them and paid the runners a commission of about 30 to 40% of the goods value. The fraudulent activities targeted multiple shops, including Hui Auto Trading, Mode Boutique, Nilgiris Gold Jewelers, and Healthy Ginseng Bird Nest Private Limited. The goods purchased range from car accessories and fashion items to expensive gold jewelry and bird's nest, a delicacy in Chinese cuisine. Ong was initially sentenced to 8 months imprisonment for each cheating charge and 14 months for each abetment charge, with 3 of the abetment sentences running consecutively, totaling 42 months in prison. Dissatisfied with the verdict, Ong chose to appeal the decision. The crux of Ong's appeal focused on a technical argument regarding how the charges were framed. Ong argued that 9 out of the 10 charges were fundamentally defective because they failed to explicitly state a crucial element required under Section 420 of the Penal Code, that the shopkeepers were induced to deliver property as a result of the deception. Instead, the charges stated that the shopkeepers were induced to accept the counterfeit credit cards as payment. Ong's defense argued that this omission meant that the charges did not meet the legal threshold for aggravated cheating under Section 420, which requires that the deception directly leads to the delivery of property. This raised a significant legal question. Does a technical flaw in the wording of a charge undermine the entire conviction? Should Ong's convictions be overturned on this basis? A ruling in Ong's favor could have significantly reduced his sentence or led to some charges being dismissed. Ong's defense argued that the charges as framed did not fulfill the requirements of Section 420. Since the charges only mentioned that the shopkeepers were deceived into accepting the counterfeit credit cards without explicitly stating that they were induced to deliver the property, the defense claimed that Ong couldn't be convicted under Section 420. His lawyers argued that at most, the charges describe simple cheating under Section 417, which carries a lighter penalty, up to 1 year's imprisonment, a fine, or both. His lawyers also argued that since the charges were defective, they should not be amended after the trial, as this would be unfair to Ong, who had built his defense around the original charges. The prosecution argued that despite the technical omission, the essence of the crime was clear. The shopkeepers had been deceived into delivering goods based on fraudulent transactions. The prosecutors argued that the framing error was a minor technicality that did not mislead Ong or prejudice his defense. Citing Section 162 of the Criminal Procedure Code, they emphasized that errors in charges are immaterial unless they mislead the accused or result in a miscarriage of justice. The debate boiled down to a central issue. Should form prevail over substance, or should the law focus on the intent and effect of actions? The High Court, presided over by Chief Justice Yong Pang Hao, delivered a comprehensive judgment. The court agreed with Ong's lawyers that the charges were technically defective, as they failed to mention the essential element of inducing delivery of property required under Section 420. However, the court deemed that these defects were immaterial. Chief Justice Yong noted that the prosecution's intent to proceed under Section 420 was evident, given the nature of the evidence and the higher penalties sought. The omission didn't mislead Ong or impact the conduct of his defense. Relying on Sections 162 and 396 of the Criminal Procedure Code, the court held that technical errors in charges could be corrected post-trial, provided they didn't result in a miscarriage of justice. Accordingly, the court amended the charges to include the missing element of inducing delivery of property. The judgment didn't stop there. Chief Justice Yong found that Ong's original sentence of 42 months manifestly inadequate. Given Ong's central role in the syndicate, orchestrating the scheme, recruiting runners, and handling the illicit proceeds, the court decided to enhance the sentence. The final sentence was 12 months imprisonment for each cheating charge and 20 months imprisonment for each abetment charge, with 3 abetment sentences running consecutively, totaling 60 months or 5 years imprisonment. The court considered Ong's young age as a mitigating factor, suggesting that without this, an even harsher sentence would have been imposed. Ong's case also serves as a cautionary tale. Greed, the desire for quick gains, and the illusion of an easy path can cloud judgment, leading individuals down destructive paths. But like all illusions, they eventually shatter, revealing the truth, often with severe consequences. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Ong Tiong Poh's case. If this story resonated with you, remember to look beyond the surface in law, in life, and everything you do. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.